Hey everyone, my name is Gabrielle, she, her. I am a queer Black femme, and today I'm here to teach you 5 of the best ways to communicate with your Scorpio, love interest, or crush. I always like to say in the beginning of these videos, these tips are really applicable to any Scorpio person, not just folks in the LGBTQ community, but what makes this video a queer astrology video is that all the information that you're about to hear today is going through my lens as a queer person. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so with these 5 tips that I'm about to share with you, you're gonna learn how to pique your Scorpio love interest. You're going to learn how to make your Scorpio feel seen, which is so important, and you're going to learn how to talk to your Scorpio in a way that's going to make them want to talk more with you and talk more to you. So basically, you're going to learn how to speak your queer Scorpio crush's love language, which is so invaluable. So if your queer Scorpio crush has a Scorpio sun, a Scorpio moon, is a Scorpio rising, has a Scorpio Venus or Mars, or has a lot of placements in their 8th house, this video is going to work for them, so keep on watching. Okay, so tip number 1. Ask your Scorpio questions. And I'm not just talking about like surface level, how was your day stuff, although you should definitely ask them those types of things too. I'm talking about like digging deep. So for example, if you're talking with your queer Scorpio crush about a thing, you should definitely ask them like, why do you think you did that? Or like what do you think the meaning of that was? Or like, what made you want to do that? It's those like second level questions that are just beyond the surface, which will really register with your Scorpio, because Scorpios love to dig deep. They like to peel back the layers. They like to analyze. And that's what they do when they're interested in a subject. So when they see that you're doing that to them, they think, oh, like this person's interested in me. Now, they may not answer those questions because some Scorpios are very selective with the type of information they reveal and when they reveal it. But the point is that they'll register this, like your questioning on these deeper levels, as interest. Okay, so if you're ready, tip number 2. Compliment the way your Scorpio explains things. So by that I mean like Scorpios just in general love to analyze. They love to really dig into a subject and like, look at what's beneath the surface. And so because of that, the way that they think sometimes is overall like just very thorough. And when they communicate those thoughts, they're not always super well received with whoever they're talking about, because most people don't think about things the way Scorpio does. So if you're talking with a Scorpio and you're really feeling the way that they're explaining things, you're really enjoying the conversation, let them know. Be like, hey, I really like the way you explain things. So then that will really just give them a really nice burst of confidence, and they'll feel seen. They'll be like, okay, this person, like, they get me, they see me. So that's tip number 2. Compliment the way that your Scorpio explains things. Okay, tip number 3. Send your Scorpio things that have double or hidden meanings. And so, okay, we know that Scorpios are a very deep sign. They're also into things that tend to be a little bit darker. They like mystery. Oftentimes, Scorpios really like horror movies. But overall, they love to like find the pattern and like understand why something's happening. So because of that, Scorpios are really intrigued by double meanings or hidden meanings. So for example, if you and your Scorpio were talking about something in the past and you're on Instagram, put a song on your story that is reminiscent of something that y'all were talking about in like not a super obvious way, in a way that makes them stop and pause and think, is that about me? Is this person referencing our conversation? Are they trying to tell me something? Scorpios love that. They'll eat that up. And so this really appeals to a Scorpio's desire to like, look in deep and probe. So definitely anytime you can say something or post something that makes your Scorpio pause and think and look for like a secondary meaning, which in this case like should be there because it is your love interest, that is good. And you'll really excite your Scorpio senses and make them want to know more about you and like just get them excited. Okay. Tip number 4, and this tip is applicable to just any human conversation, but it's specifically and especially true for Scorpios. Tip number 4 is give them your full attention when you're talking to them in person. Scorpios are intense. That's an understatement. And because of that, when they communicate, they really want to feel like you're connecting. And also, Scorpios don't necessarily share their thoughts with just anybody, especially when you're talking about more of like a delicate subject or more sensitive subject. So if you are talking about these subjects, make sure you're paying attention to your Scorpio, because what they're telling you to them feels like privileged information. It feels like a secret, even if it's not, necessarily like a thing that most people would think of a secret. To Scorpio, it's a secret. It's coming from inside them. They're a very, secretive sign. And so if they're sharing anything with you, to them, this is a very precious moment and this is privileged information. So you really want to ideally make it seem like and make it feel like to them, like, okay, I get that this is important information. I'm so here for it. I'm excited for you to tell me. Please tell me more. Your secrets are safe with me. So yeah, you can do that by eye contact. You can do that by, not necessarily fidgeting with your phone unnecessarily or like not looking around at what's going on. Really create an environment that feels safe for your Scorpio and like it's just you and them. It's you and them. Okay, my final tip number 5, is compliment your Scorpio on the way that they ask questions. Let them know that they ask interesting questions, and here's why. Again, one of the main signs that a Scorpio can give you when they're interested in you is to probe you, is to dig deep, is to try and understand you. And so that typically means, a lot of questions, but these questions are more often indirect questions. So like if they're curious about how many siblings you have, sure, they might ask you how many siblings you have, but sometimes what the Scorpio would prefer to do is ask another question that is designed to get you to reveal the answer that they're truly interested in. So if you're having a conversation and you notice they're asking you questions, this is a really good thing. And if you think their questions are like unusual or interesting, or you like the way they are trying to get to know you, let them know. Be like, hey, you ask really interesting questions. That'll make their little hearts flutter. And, again, you'll make them feel very seen. They'll feel understood. They'll feel loved. Because again, a Scorpio digging is their like love language. That's what they do. They like to dig. So, if you're receptive to that digging, let them know. Let them know you like it. Let them know it, it's resonating with you in a way that feels good. And they'll love that. You'll make them feel seen. You'll make them feel confident in them like wanting to get to know you more and continuing the process. It's positive affirmation. It's positive affirmation. All right, y'all, so I hope you enjoyed those tips. If you did find these tips on how to speak the love language of your queer Scorpio crush helpful, then go ahead and like this video and please subscribe down below. Also, I do offer tarot services specifically for the queer community and allies, and I host virtual events for the queer and trans community. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely look for the links in the description box below to learn more. Okay. Bye.